my other camera. So welcome. This is a 20-minute class. I'm going to be running you through my own sort of go-to sequence. I vary it every time a little bit, but this is the way that I would generally sort of get out of bed, get on my mat, and do a little bit of stuff myself. So it's super simple and basic because it's what I would do very early in the morning, just as a sort of wake-up zest. I've got this word zest in my mind quite a lot at the moment because I think there's a bit of a level of apathy and sort of what's the point, and I think we need to try and keep our energy levels up, even though we're inside so much. Let's try and keep up the vibrancy for our own sakes and for the people around us, and hopefully model that to the people around us as well. So I want you please to begin in downward facing dog with bent knees. So bring your hands to the front of the mat. I'm going to do this whole sequence with you because I need it too. Bend your knees and press your hands towards the front of the mat and really stretch your spine. Let your head hang. And then straighten your legs, and with the rhythm of your breathing, so as you inhale, bend one knee and straighten the other leg, pressing the heel down to the floor. And as you exhale, do that on the other side. Try and keep the strength and the integrity in your arms. Change sides. Do this in your own breath rhythm. Hopefully this is going to make your breathing a little longer and a little bit more conscious, moving your body in the rhythm of your breath. Do a couple more and then we'll come into a normal, still, downward facing dog. And then bring your knees down to the floor and come into child's pose. Stretching your lower back, rest your head on the floor. Keep reaching your arms forward, make sure your elbows are way off the floor and you're even suctioning your armpits and your shoulders up towards the ceiling. Now come back into downward facing dog, separate your feet. Then walk your feet forward, come into Uttanasana, raise your chest for Ardha Uttanasana, and then fold again to Uttanasana. Now, bent knees is fine, but press all of your fingers into the floor and heel toe your feet together if they're apart. And press your legs towards each other as you then take a big step back with your left leg. Now, stay here. Straighten your back leg and round your back a little bit here. Try not to let your face drop down too much towards the floor. And then step your back foot forward again. Feet together, raise your chest, look up, exhale, fold. And then bend your knees and step your other foot back, your right foot back. Again, straight legs. Press your shoulders towards your back foot and squeeze your back knee straight and strong. Try and keep quite buoyant in your pelvis here. So do squeeze your bottom. Bring your navel up to your spine so your abs are strongly engaged. And then step forward again. Raise your chest again. Inhale, look up. And as you exhale, fold. Now walk back into plank. So bend your knees, walk back. It's a little bit of strength here, some heat being built. Push your feet down more than you need to. Press your hands away from each other and then press them back towards your feet. So you really feel your front body, your belly rise up. Get some buoyancy. Now bring your knees to the floor. Chaturanga Dandasana. So pick up your feet, cross your ankles, come just a little bit down. Then coming to Cobra, straighten your legs, toenails on the floor, bring your pubic bone down, curl up. And then go back to downward facing dog. Lift up your belly and press back. Now bend your knees and look forward. Walk or step your feet to the top of the mat. Raise your chest again, Ardha Uttanasana. We're really lengthening the backs of the legs today, and as you exhale, fold. Now bend your knees, come up to standing. Finally, standing up. Bring your hands together and down in towards your heart. Inhale, bring your arms up again. And as you exhale, fold. Inhale, raise your chest, look up. Now again, heel toe your feet together. Take a big step back with your left foot. This time bring the knee down. Squeeze your legs, keep your fingers on the floor to begin with. Press your front foot towards your back knee. Then bringing your arms ahead of you, do this really slowly. Bring your arms up, firm your abs, press your lower ribs in towards your spine, reach up, and then interlace your hands behind the back of your head, drop your head into your hands and open up your heart as you press your elbows back. Now look forward, stretch your arms straight, slowly come back down again, touch down, step your back foot forward, step your right foot back, bring the knee down to the floor. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up. Interlace your fingers the other way behind the back of your head. Press your elbows towards your back foot. Raise your heart up towards the sky. Straighten your arms. Slowly come forward. Step your back foot forward again. Raise your chest for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold to Uttanasana. Walk back into plank. So we're moving slowly, but we're not really pausing. We're sort of going from pose to pose to pose. Bring your knees down to the floor. Chaturanga Dandasana. Cross your ankles the other way. Come part way down. Pause. Straighten your legs. Cobra, pubic bone down. And then go back to downward facing dog. So I'm hoping this fluidity is going to help you sort of generate a nice movement of energy in your body, creating some heat, some zest. Put a little bend in your knees and look forward. Step the other foot forward and then the other, or walk forward. Raise your chest. Exhale, fold. Now bend your knees, bring your arms all the way up. Bring your hands together and down to your heart. We're going to do one more sequence very similar to that. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, raise your chest, look up. Exhale, fold again, and then step your left foot back. This time we're going to do a twist. Keep your left hand flat on the floor. Bring your right arm out to the side, come up. Now bend your back knee down to the floor just to touch, and then come up again. And then again, bend your back knee down, touch, come up again. Last time, squeeze your bottom, come down, come up. Look down at your front foot, touch down, step your back foot forward. Ardha Uttanasana, raise your chest. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back. Keep the right hand flat on the floor. Bring the left arm up, twist to the left. Bring your right knee down to the floor to touch. Pick it up. Touch. Inhale, pick it up. Exhale, bring it down. Come up. I've lost count, so we'll do one more. This might be 4, doesn't matter. Come down. Come all the way up. Bring your hand down. Step that back foot forward. Raise your chest. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Walk back into plank. Bring your knees down if you're tiring. Be strong. Bring your knees down to the floor. By the way, if you can do Chaturanga Dandasana without your knees down, do that. Come into Chaturanga Dandasana. Then come into Cobra, bring your pubic bone down, curl up. Go back into downward facing dog. Now bend your knees, look forwards, either walk, step, or perhaps float if you can float to the top of the mat. Raise your chest, look up. If you don't know what floating is, don't worry. Exhale, fold, doesn't really matter. Bend your knees, bring your arms all the way up. Bring your hands together, and then down to your heart. Now, feet together, really together, and then bring your arms all the way up overhead. Stretch up. Now keep your index fingers pointing up, but interlace your other fingers, including your thumbs. Press up, and then coming into a side bend, bring your body over to the right. Inhale, come up. Exhale, go to the other side. Inhale, come up again. Exhale to the first side. Inhale, come up. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, come up, stay here. Now bring your hands down into your heart. And then bring your arms behind your back and grab your wrists. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Keep hold of your wrists or walk your hands more towards your elbows. You might even be able to get your elbows. So as long as you're grabbing onto some part of your forearms, squeeze your legs, raise your chest, and at the same time, put some work in pressing your shoulders away from me so your shoulder blades on your upper back are a little closer to each other. Good. Now release this, but then you're going to repeat it and do it the awkward way. So think about whatever forearm you normally have in your lower back and change it to the other forearm that's in contact with your lower back. Yeah, it's not easy to negotiate that always. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other again. So put some upper back strength work into this. Don't just rely on grabbing your arms. And then release. Bring your hands to your hips. We're going to do tree pose. Turn your right leg out. Bring your leg up. Place your foot in the root of this leg. If you need to bring your foot below the knee, go for it. Squeeze your legs strong. Now keep the hand here or bring it up with both hands in your heart. So you've either got your right hand here and your left hand in Anjali Mudra, or you've got both hands together. Good. Now, if you've got both hands together, I want you just for a moment to close your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Then whatever you're doing, bring your hands to your hips, open your eyes, take your foot away, bring it down. Tree pose, Vrikshasana on the other side. Bring your foot up as high as you can or below your knee. And again, option to keep your hand here, holding onto your leg, or bring both hands together. Press the top of your head up towards the ceiling. Option to close your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes if they're closed. Bring your hands onto your hips. Release the foot. Place it down. Step wide. Okay. Bring your arms out. I just taught a kids class and I called this star pose. But imagine that you are a star, even though you're an adult. And press your hands away from each other and get big. Be the biggest star in the universe. Then turn your right foot out. Warrior 2 pose. Bend the right knee. This is called surfer's pose in kids yoga. So you know what? You could be a kid here. Imagine you're a surfer surfing across the universe towards the stars on your flying magic mat, your flying carpet magic mat. Now to the other side, keep your arms up, straighten the right leg, turn the toes towards me, turn the left toes out, bend the left leg. Make sure your alignment is good here, that your knee is really going over the middle of your foot. Look over your left hand, so you know where you're going, you don't bump into any stars. Then straighten that left leg, bring your hands to your hips, turn the left foot forward. One more time, turn the right leg out. One more time with this wide stance. Bring your arms all the way up. We're going to do triangle pose. So from here, lean forward. Try and get lots of length in the under right rib cage. And then bring your right hand just below your knee. Make sure that you've got the thumb inside the fingers outside as you reach the left arm up. Lean back. That's it. And then rotate your belly and your chest a little bit more up towards the ceiling as you lean back. But at the same time, bring your navel into your spine. So you're cultivating a little bit of a rounding in your back. Your abdominal muscles are strongly engaged. And if you can bring your hand down more without dropping your top ribs down to the floor, then by all means do that. Keep pushing down through the inner foot of that front foot. Then come all the way up. So push down with your back foot, reach up with your top hand. Turn your right foot forward, left foot out. Trikanasana on this side. Lean, 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 lean. Push your hips back. Bring your hand down. Not too far down towards your foot, at least not to begin with. And then lean back. Bring your navel in. Press your feet towards each other. Bring your head back. Don't bring your head too close towards the screen here. And then turn your belly a little bit more up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your legs strong. It's quite easy to hang out here a little bit. Keep squeezing the legs strong. And then come all the way up. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn the left foot forward. And then heel toe your feet together. Good. Now, eagle pose. Hands on the hips. Right leg up. Wrap the right leg around. Stay here with your hands on your hips or bring your arms forward and bring the right arm under. Bring your wrists in front of your nose. Keep your chest up for this one, so don't nest your eagle. Keep it up. Keep tall, keep strong. So you're sort of looking forward into your day rather than looking down in an introverted, sort of retrospective way. Now unravel your arms, hands onto your hips, unravel the right leg, stand. Other side, bend both of your knees, left leg up, wrap around, squeeze tight, be careful of your knees. Again, hands here or arms ahead, left arm under. Again, bring your wrists in front of your face. Raise your chest, raise your elbows, press your hands away from your face so you get a little bit more stretch around the base of your shoulders. And then gaze forward and be aware of your peripheral vision. Look out at the sides, the outer edges of your eyes. Unravel your arms, bring your hands to your hips, unravel your legs, and come down. Good. Okay, come down into a squat. Bring your arms ahead, come down, come down, come down, come down. Bring your hands to the floor. And sit in a cross-legged position. We're not going to stay seated for long. Blade down through your feet, get really tall, raise your chest, back bend, and then fold forward. So today we're not working on any particular pose, we're working more on your range of motion. I'm trying to, in this 20 minutes, get you to open up your hips and your shoulders in particular in as many ways as possible. Come all the way up. Bring your hands onto the floor behind you, uncross your legs, cross the other way. Bring your hands to your knees. Do the back bend first. Raise your heart. Get a long front body. And then drape forward, bringing your hands forward. To the extent that suits you. It all depends on the amount that you can move your hips and your knees. And then come all the way up. And come back to downward facing dog. We're going to do a quick arm balance, side plank, Fascist. So lengthen the length of your downward facing dog. Wag your doggy heels back. Bring your feet together. Come forward into plank. Come onto the outside edge of your left foot and step your right foot halfway up the mat. And bring your top hand up. Now, many of you know variations of Fascistasana. Go for it. So this is the freestyle option. You can straighten your legs. You can come into parallel legs. You can bring the top foot a little bit more in front of the other foot. You can come into tree pose, or by all means be my guest and come into the full Fascistasana. And then come back into downward facing dog. Press your hand down. Make sure your down dog is really long. Come forward into a very long plank. Come onto the outside edge of your right foot. And again, be my guest. Be careful of this bottom arm, by the way. Make sure the inner elbow crease is pointing forward so your shoulder is really planted on your back. And come into your variation of Fascistasana. Have a play around, you know. Don't get too comfortable in one version. Have a go at any other version that you might know. Otherwise, just do what I'm doing. And then come out of whatever it is that you're doing. Bring your hand down to the floor. Go back into downward facing dog. Make it the normal length. And bring your knees down to the floor. Sit onto your heels. We're nearly out of time. Just one hip opener. So, Sukhi Randrasana, eye of the needle. Park your bottom in the middle of the mat. Bring your elbows down. Right leg up. Interlace your fingers behind the back of your left leg. If you've got a little bit more flexibility, maybe you can get the front of the shin, but only if that doesn't make the pose sort of awkward. Now, before we come to the other side, just a quick variation here on the right. If you've got your hands around your shin, change it so it's actually behind the back of the thigh, and then straighten your left leg. So you're getting a double whammy benefit. Keep pushing your right knee away from your right shoulder with the strength of your right leg. Then bend the left leg, bring the foot to the floor, right foot to the floor, come to the other side. Come up, interlace your fingers, the non-dominant clasp. Relax your shoulders, stay here first. Push your left knee away from you. And then straighten your right leg. Really push the right heel up towards the ceiling. And push your left knee away from your left shoulder. Now bend the right leg, Bring the foot to the floor, bring your other foot to the floor, and come into Shavasana. It's going to be a 1 minute Shavasana, which means get it good from the get-go. So undo ponytails, take off glasses, backs of the hands to the floor, fingers curled, and melt down quickly, not with urgency, but just with a respect to the brevity of time we have here. Come into the pose with real consciousness. Close your eyes. Let your belly be soft. And I'll ring the bells when it's time to come out. Now, bend your knees one leg at a time, bringing the soles of your feet to the floor, and roll over onto your right side. Then push yourself up straight away into a seated position and sit tall. Close your eyes here for a few moments. Observe your body. Observe the state of your mind, your thoughts. And observe how both the state of your body and the state of your mind are affecting the way that you feel, your emotions and your spirit, your spark. Don't try and change any of that, just notice it, observe it, acknowledge it, and that it changes all the time. Just notice how it is now. Now bring your hands into your heart. Lower your chin so it touches your fingertips. Release your hands and press them down onto your legs. Raise your chin and open your eyes.